Today on The Case.
Let me bring in my dream team today. We got criminal defense attorney Troy Slaten. He joins us from L.A. Great to see you, Troy. Exactly what we're talking about.
This goes to the heart of mens rea. Right now, he's being charged with felony murder, which means they have no criminal intent. They don't know why he did it. So prosecutors need to show that he had this evil intent, that he had a guilty mind. And a search term like how long does it take a mammal to die or an animal to die in a hot car would provide that exact kind of mens rea. If that's true, then how long was the sweat there? If the baby was dead in a hot car, wouldn't the sweat have evaporated? I mean, there are a lot of other factors. What was the relative humidity at the time? There are a lot of other things to look at.
Do you plant some thorny roses or maybe a Venus flytrap?
You set up the surveillance cameras. Everywhere in our lives, if you live in a big city, you're being watched at one point or another. So when a neighbor or a friend or someone sees that guy, people who have good hearts, they're going to turn him in.
In-N-Out Burger.
They want this in their fraternity room. Ask any owner of a Bob's Big Boy or a KFC with the Colonel Sanders out front, and they'll tell you they've been pranked at one point or another.
You throw all their crap in the front yard, you close the door and say, get the hell out of here.
And then you could be arrested because she has rights.
Oh.
She needs to go through the eviction process.
What a crock. Yeah, of course, you're going
To try to save this mom.
So as far as the prosecutors are concerned, they want that video. That's going to assist in prosecuting the mom. However, so many people, we've heard the expression, no good deed goes unpunished. It could be very dangerous to get involved when two people are involved in mutual combat. One person could pull out a knife, pull out a gun, and that good Samaritan could wind up dead or hurt.
That's true, Troy, but what about maybe calling 911?
Troy, should there be an obligation on citizens when you see something to say something, to do something, to act?
Well, unless you have a special relationship with the victim, like you're a parent or a nurse or a doctor, there is no responsibility. If you see someone hanging off the cliff and at no danger to you, you can rescue that person. The law says you don't have to. We're not going to impose on people the duty to become a good Samaritan. So, no, I don't think we want to force people to act because people might act in a wrong way. But calling 911, that would be easy.
It was a two-lane road. He was taking up part. I know you don't have many two-lane roads, Troy, in California, but we do in other cities.
It was clearly not obstructing the roadway.
Oh, give
Up
me a
next.
break.
Troy, I know
There's
you're not...
no duty to retreat. Yeah, there's no duty to retreat in your home. And just like the woman with the fire extinguisher, if she had shot and killed that guy, she would have been justified.
Locked up in the basement, but I'm as concerned for the other 9 children.
It's horrific. We don't even treat prisoners this way. When somebody is put into solitary confinement, they at least get to go outside for an hour or two each day. This is really terrible. It's going to be hard to mount a defense. And if there was really a danger to the other children, there were many other ways to deal with it.
Yeah.
It all boils down to what's in the best interest of the child. And so a judge is going to look at this and use the very high legal standard of clear and convincing evidence. If the judge finds that by clear and convincing evidence, which is just below beyond a reasonable doubt, that these children would be better off outside the home, then the judge is going to rip those children from its parents' arms. And that might be a good thing in this situation.
No, I agree with that, but
Kat McDonough is a less than ideal witness for the prosecutors. They had to make an immunity deal with her because she was lying previously. And so as far as finding a body, that's not really necessary because they found evidence that her hair of the deceased was on the railing near the cliff. So you don't actually have to have a body to have a murder case. I never have, but it's interesting that the judge said, and here it's just a judge that we're playing to. There's no jury in South Africa. It's a judge that has 2 advisors, and she raised the issue that there is a doubt. But what's also interesting is that it was the prosecutor who said, we need to stop this trial and have him evaluated. Absolutely. He only has to convince, he must convince one person here, and that's the judge. I like a chance with a jury where I get to talk to 12 people, and maybe I can convince one and get a hung jury, and as a defense attorney, that's a win. But here, he's got to convince that one judge and her 2 advisors, but it's ultimately her decision, and her decision alone to make.
What do you think should be done?
Well, it's clear that he's been convicted in the court of public opinion, and I know a lot of high people in low places in my line of work, and I don't know anyone who's searched for how long it takes to kill an animal in a car. But all of that being said, we just can't convict somebody until we have all the evidence, until we know everything.